There was just recently a photo released onto Bobo Fay's page from Finding Bigfoot. There's been a lot of debate if it's a Sasquatch or if it's a bear. People have been going back and forth about the issue. Well, you could look at it this way, that the new season is coming up and they needed something to talk about, so that could definitely spark interest, popularity. But what I want to do is like a logical look at some things here. So first, what I'm going to share with you about the Pennsylvania Bigfoot possible photo. Right here I looked into PA, and you have a management and biology of black bears in Pennsylvania, where they had a 10-year plan in place from 2006 to 2015. A lot of people seem to believe that this bear has mange. So it's kind of odd that every photo we catch of a bear outside of the woods has mange. I understand it's common, but it seems like that continues to be some type of scapegoat for these photos, saying, oh, the deer or the bear or whatever it is, that we're talking about has mange. And another interesting fact is this was like in the fall of 2015 where this photo was taken. There is no Clare County, Pennsylvania, so I don't know if they've got that wrong, but the time, date, and year all seem to coincide. But I wanted to share a little fact here based on the time of year, and if people are thinking that it may be a bear with mange. So let's read this. It says right here, disease, predation, and starvation probably have little impact on adult survival. Bears have no natural predators. Adult males may kill cubs to promote breeding opportunities or attack dispersing subadults to defend a home range, but neither is well documented. And then it goes on to say, which is kind of important, starvation is uncommon because people rarely report seeing emaciated bears in Pennsylvania. So first things first, you're not seeing emaciated bears with mange. I mean, they may have mange, but a lot of people aren't seeing them. And it says none of the diseases or parasites that inflict to bears are considered high mortality risks. Then it also goes on to say that mange, right here, which is caused by a mite and so on and so forth, is only caused in 1.6% of harvested bears. That is a really low number. So to continually say that these photos that we see are bear with mange, I mean, is it every bear that we see coming out of Pennsylvania has mange? Either they have a real problem down there that they can't get under control, or something else is going on here. And also what this article kind of lacks is it doesn't tell you that when a bear has like mange, they don't really eat as much. So we're seeing this photo of a supposed bear eating, and it has mange, and a lot of times in the fall there's a lot of issues that these bears have. I'm going to actually try to find the article where it states that so I can show you. Alright, here's a quick clip. It says, the infected bears eat less, which ultimately can lead to malnutrition and further decline in health, particularly if it's during the fall when these bears are trying to fatten up for hibernation. And this is the same guy from the previous management article, Turnin. He just goes on to say how the bear can die, and that's usually what a bear with mange progressed looks like. And the thing what I'm trying to get across is, if this photo was taken late in the year, like the camera stated, it was September, I believe, it states, you know, those bears with mange eat less, have problems more in the fall. The probability of that being a bear against what the state, you know, conservation department is writing is totally opposite. You can kind of see where I'm going with this. And so I just want to share, you know, this is what a bear in Pennsylvania with mange looks like. This looks nothing like the photo that I'll be sharing with you here shortly of a supposed bear. So just go ahead and remember this photo here. The skin is not tight. It's very loose on the bear, even though it has mange. You can see that. Okay, so here is the supposed photo, and they have it listed as the return of the Jacobs creature in Clare County, PA, which is there's like a Clare Township, but not county. Date was actually fall of 2015. So there's a few things going on in this instance here. I'd like to know what this is right here. So let's go ahead and zoom that in a bit, because to me, I don't know what that is, but it's interesting. I don't want to go too close because then it gets blurred. But back to this here. There's a few things. I mean, it could possibly be a bear. It could possibly be a Sasquatch. But I'm going to share some photos here, hopefully to you know, help you make up your mind either way. I know a lot of people were talking about the tighter skin on this, but as you've seen, a bear with mange usually doesn't have that. And for quick reference, I have to share the bear anatomy and physiology, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. That way you can decide if you believe that it's a bear or not. And before I share some other photos, I wanted to share this because one key aspect, most bears that you end up seeing standing or walking on their hind legs, it's usually for food or for something like that, but the arms are usually tucked close to the body. Go take a look at most of your bear photos when they're standing up, upright or walking or whatever it may be. That those top paws and them arms or legs, whatever you want to call them, they're usually tucked close to the body, and that helps balance. So when you go back to the photo, do you see the difference? That's not tucked close to the body or anything like that. There's a few points I'm going to make out with some photos here, but one of the key aspects is to look at the shoulder right in here. The way it connects to the body. And I just pulled this offline, and I'll show you. See all the bears you see standing? See how close their arms are to their bodies for stability? And here's another one I just grabbed really quick. If you look, you can see the hump in the back and the lengthy, section here, like the nape of the neck. This right here does not look like the same thing in the photo to me. And here is another rear shot of a bear. The way the legs are, there's just something about it that doesn't fit the bill. I mean, it probably is a bear. You have to go most likely and say, well, it is a bear. But if you start lining things up and adding things up and paying attention, other things may come to light. So years ago, this was the Jacobs photo that they compare and contrasted about 1,000 times, and there was some before and after photos of bears on this guy's Jacobs trail camera. That's his last name. And if we're gonna start to compare things, let's compare this photo to our new photo. Alright, so I just did this for a quick reference. If you want to take a look at the back of each of these, they don't look the same. So if one of them is a bear, one of them isn't. Do you get what I'm saying? Even the way the head is, and this higher back and than this one, there's certain things that stand out and don't make sense. So here it is. I took it and reversed it and just shared it up in the corner. I know it takes some of the picture out, but the comparison just doesn't look the same. So let me show you. If this is a bear that they're claiming, you can see the distance and where the shoulder is. Okay, now in comparison to this, the shoulder's way farther up. Just in comparison, to me, you know, the body line comes up farther, where this is kind of tucked down and underneath to protrude for the arm. That front shoulder just doesn't look the same. I get it, they're different, you know, if they're both bears, let's say, I get it, they look different, so on and so forth, but I'm just trying to point out some key things. And like, so on to the next photo here. If you kind of look at their feet, this one I kind of got a little bit cut off, but even the foot structure on both of these do not look the same. The main reason that I think people believe it's a bear, it's easier to believe it that way, and then people say, well, it might have a tail, but again, see the shoulder, how it's kind of set back here and rises up to the back? You don't see that in this one. This is almost like a human back, which is really odd. And then in this one I tried to kind of line up that back leg, but the foot proportion was nowhere near it, and even the back doesn't look right. You know, on this, let's call it a creature, bear, whatever, it dips and you could see the whole frontal line. This one does not have that. This is just a complete reversal that I did. So now, I mean, if this is September and it's fall, they say, you know, if this has mange, I mean, why is it out in the public? Why is it eating? Because they say they usually don't have an appetite. You know, this has the tighter skin. And most, you know, I showed you that other photo earlier that the mange bear kind of had that loose, nasty skin, and it's just not something nice. And here I just wanted to share some, you know, fast facts. They say height at the shoulders is 2 to 3 feet, length is 4 to 7 feet. They give you your lifespan and your weight and the range of the black bear. You know, so if we go back to that photo and we take a look at it here, 2 to 3 feet, based on those rear legs, if that's a bear, that bear is way bigger. And the thing is, if it's got mange, I doubt it's that big. What do I think it is? I have no idea. I wasn't there. I haven't got a chance to investigate it. I don't know if there was foot impressions. I mean, obviously it's a nighttime photo or a early or dusk photo, because that's usually when the infrared seems to take photos with, you know, with the game cams. The infrared isn't during the daytime. Whatever's back here is intriguing, because that's something all to itself. You know, this is intriguing. You can't really tell if those are paws. I mean, it looks it maybe, or if they're hands. But what I'd like to know in reference to height and things is, like, how tall was this feeder? You know, how heavy was this tub? Did he, you know, was this picked up and moved? It's just, I have a lot of questions I would need answers to before I went ahead and assume something, because if you kind of look here in the reversal, this almost looks like if it's possibly a hand, the fingers would go over the wood, kind of to like hold on. I don't know. It would be a guess. You can't see the head. You can't see the ears. You know, you can't tell anything. I mean, it probably is a bear, but like I said, until we have all the data, nobody can really say, hey, it's a bear or it's a Sasquatch, or, you know. And lastly, I just kind of took that figure or whatever that is in the back there. It got pixelated a little bit. It looks odd though. It really does, doesn't it? So I don't know what that could be. So, I mean, is this new photo that Bobo posted just to stir up, you know, everybody so they watch the new season coming out? Most likely. Is it a bear? Probably. But I don't think anybody can say what it is or what it isn't unless they've got, you know, measurements and all the correct data. But for now, guys, like, sub, share. You like our channel, support